Oh, what is going on, everybody?
Hello.
It is Pixel Partners here, and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney 2 when we left off.
I don't know what that hello was. It was something.
Fine. There was a lot going on. It's just the brains are getting fried by all the details that we're getting. We learned how Genshin ASOGI essentially was able to get out of his execution. And now we learned about
the ASOGI
papers. Yeah. His last will and testament. It wasn't his will and testament. He wrote some shit in there.
Or that someone wrote something to him. Well, he was holding on to it.
He was caught writing when he walked in. He literally saw him writing and he was like, "Oh shit!" and he hit it.
Oh, I thought he just saw him holding a piece of paper.
That was the excuse he was trying to give, because he wasn't supposed to be there writing anything. That was like the one thing they wouldn't let him do, which is also that. I think we kind of glossed over that, but now that I just said it, now I'm like, the only thing they would not allow him to do was write.
Yeah.
Which makes you think that there must be something that they were trying to hide that he must have known, which he then went ahead and went through anyways, that Governor Caidin learned of the papers in the first place that he shouldn't have known about. So now the game wants us to go talk to him, and I'm sure that's going to go so well. How could that not go well?
There's so many locations. Oh my god.
Prison governor's office. I know, it is sometime. That's the keyword of, hey, we should walk over here and see what happens. I can't wait to get kicked out in record time.
Got to do the Scottish. It's been a while.
Hey, buddy.
He's so intimidating. Oh, back again, are you?
Yeah. Hello.
I've heard all about your investigations. I read the report just now. You found him, eh, Vigil?
Yes, luckily.
Well, anywho, the laddie doesn't work here anymore, so your case is not to do with Barkley. I wouldn't like you to get the wrong idea about that.
Of course, yes. Mr. Vigil stopped working here 10 years ago now, so...
Yes, we've seen his dismissal notice, haven't we? He was given the chop. Aye, Kimmer, you can very well. So, how about the wee handcuff biscuit?
Him and his handcuff biscuits.
Oh, look at the little handcuffs! And as hard as irons, too.
Oh, goodness.
So, what's brought you doing here today?
Well, there's something else I'd like to ask you about, actually.
Is that so?
You're not going to be so happy when I talk about it. You believe there might have been a document that disappeared from Genshin ASOGI's cell? I think it's been called the ASOGI paper or something. Literally, we were just told, don't say anything. They're top secret.
And we're saying it to this guy of all people.
I'm surprised the music didn't cut out already, but wait for it.
Oh.
There it goes.
Yep. Did I not say Gregson's death note is not to do with things that might have happened at Barkley?
Well, they really want to try and push that Scottish through the text there.
Leave the past in the past, laddie. Let's not fret about with irrelevant details.
His expressions changed completely. It's like he's a mob boss or something. They're clearly onto something here.
It's like he's...
Dude, listen, he's got the mob thing going on.
Yeah.
He's got the pinstripe vest. He's got the handkerchief. He's got the comb, the mustache.
The tie.
The fucking big ass eyebrows. Okay.
Eyebrows are a requirement to be a mob boss?
I don't know. He just fits the bill. I don't know.
That murderous bot's execution and the whole miserable escape. They were Barkley's darkest hour, aye. A shocking embarrassment.
Because the convict had a collaborator on the prison staff, you mean?
Aye, for shame. The coroner confirmed the death of the man after his execution, Courtney Seath.
Okay, so Sith was involved.
And my chief auditor at the time, Vigil, who was in charge of the whole affair.
Who actually, according to Vigil, didn't actually have any involvement. He walked in and they're like, yep, he's dead, chief.
Yep. Tap, tap. On that coffin. But Mr. Vigil says he didn't know anything about it. The rascal wouldn't say otherwise, eh? More handcuffs. Oh, how could I say no? You can never have too much iron in your diet.
It's like, no, he would have the handcuff.
When Mr. Vigil was handed his dismissal notice as a result of what had happened, He was so despairing he jumped out of your office window, didn't he? I didn't like to say, but that's just Visual trying to get out of it. Do you not think he wouldn't have jumped from the shock of his crimes being exposed, eh? I do.
You wouldn't have say otherwise, though, would ya?
Of course, I can shun all responsibility myself. I shouldn't have let him deceive me. But I did. Actually, there's barely anybody that kens what went on at the time now. God, that's so with Gregson having been murdered and Dr. Sith forbidden from having any visitors.
You know, I just realized something when I had that little line there.
Yeah.
Is that when I actually said the wouldn't it? The accent actually worked. It's only this. If I have to do a voice like this, just Gumshoe pops out of nowhere. The ghost of Gumshoe, even though he wasn't even born at this point, but just
the
Gumshoe
idea
takes
of
over,
Gumshoe.
and it just ruined the voice.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I can stick with things. It's probably
Yeah.
because of Gina, to be honest.
Yeah.
That and I just do accents all the time.
No visitors. Someone obviously doesn't
Whether
want her
they are
getting
good or
anything away.
not good.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going home empty handed. And I wouldn't have dreamed of sending you packing with now. Whoa, what was that? I don't know. Here, take a handful or two.
To be fair,
Handcuff.
sometimes I
Handcuff
lose
it.
track of what he's saying half the time as well.
Oh, well, it would be rude to say no. Wouldn't want to become an anemic. Anemic, not an anemic, but I want to. I suppose if there's anybody who might still kind of about what happened back then, it'd be that lass from the forensic division, Maria Gori,
Interesting. That's the coroner.
who botched Gregson's time of death.
Yeah. Maria Gory?
I see his daughter. Oh,
So that is the daughter.
you didn't
Okay.
have no more. Just be the one. Just the one, not just be the one. But that works too. But the wee bairns followed in her mam's footsteps. You didn't ever see her without a scalpel in her hand. Dang, they're really strong this time
They
around.
are.
Is it just me, or is it have gotten? Has it
It's
gotten?
just been a while since we talked to him.
Yeah.
Ah.
Whoa,
Yeah, this
that's
person.
right. She was wearing like a steampunk plague doctor mask.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell you the voice because it was only there for like 10 lines.
I think it was just, Mama, what is this?
Ah! Where did she spring from? And did she just call the doctor Mama?
I'm pretty sure that was her voice.
It's his daughter, Maria Gory. What are we gonna do with talking to her? Since we can't talk to Mama at all because like no visitors.
Yeah.
Because Sith would know what was going on at the time, so
So her
Does
daughter
she
took
help?
over. How old's her daughter?
I don't know. We'll have to find out. So she's talking with his daughter, but her surname is Gory.
Aye, there's some family history, I'm sure, but I didn't ken the ins and outs of it. She grew up watching her mum working with the bodies of folk who died in strange circumstances. Decided to do the same with her own life. Cannot understand it myself. Perhaps she was driven by a deep respect for her mother, who's now in jail. Perhaps. Anywho, she was in charge of Gregson's autopsy, I believe.
Right. And the coroner responsible for this incomplete report.
Someone told me once that the wee lassie always loved their mum stories about cutting up bodies. It's great. Love telling your kids, hey, once upon a time I cut open a man who killed another man. Good night. There's even the rumor that she used to listen to the funeral march as a lullaby.
Oh.
Wow, what nice. How lovely. Well then
Beautiful.
perhaps her mother might have told her about the autopsy from the case 10 years ago. I say there's a fighting chance at least. After all, that was a life-changing case for all of us.
We really need to speak to Miss Gory herself about this, we think.
I think, he said.
Well,
We
thank you
think.
very much. We do think it though too. We are the hive mind.
Oh. I'm not happy about any part of this. It took years for Londoners to finally forget the whole professor business. Can you not get up to this, laddie? Stop asking pointless questions.
I'm sorry. I don't like dredging up these painful memories for everyone.
Can you not just say away no? Leave me alone and didn't come back here, eh?
I got one more thing though. The one thing that I'm sure is gonna just piss you off. Cause like, I don't understand because, like, you don't want us talking to Sith because you don't want her talking about the truth. But then you can let us go talk to the daughter who probably knows something about it and you're kind of encouraging it.
Yeah.
But you do know what's going on because you knew about the ASOGI papers that I'm about to say in the first place that you shouldn't. This is going to cause chaos.
How do you come... Okay, let me read this first and then read it. How do you come to... How... That still didn't work. How do you come to know about that laddie? God. There's so many folk even in here in the prison who've heard of those papers.
Oh, well, I can't tell him Mr. Vigil told me.
I'm afraid our sources must remain confidential, sir.
We've been led to believe the papers are actually last will and testament. Is that right? The professor is, or rather, Genshin ASOGI's. Oh, the boy, the bad music kicks off.
Yep. Aye, that's right. You're well informed, Jimmy.
I mean, it's not. That's okay. You could even like said Ryan to try and get a little close to my name, but oh, is that the end of the silent treatment?
I think it's lingo.
I know. It's the joke.
Okay.
But then after the convict's execution, mysteriously vanished from his cell, didn't it?
Havers, no, you're off at half there. I think you didn't quite get your facts straight. It was there in the cell, exactly where it should have been.
Oh. Now what we heard elsewhere. Does he have it?
Let me just have a wee look around in here. I'm sure I can find it. Aye, here you are. See?
Huh? The last will and testament of Genshin ASOGI, written with a calligraphy brush.
Of course, I cannot read a word of those Japanese squiggles. But to mind it says he leaves all his worldly possessions to his son back in his homeland. Yes, that's correct. That's the gist of it.
Can I read it? These are the ASOGI papers.
Aye, of course they are. Papers written by ASOGI, and no doubt about it.
I mean, once you say that, I have to put some kind of doubt on it.
Yeah. There's no mystery here, laddie. That's your lot.
There's no way it was that simple.
After all this stramus and the slasters of an execution. Woo! We sent the man's possessions back to his clan in Japan, and that was the end of it.
Okay.
I think we ought to make a record of this, Mr. Naruto, just in case.
Yeah, we do. So...
Wait, did you read that?
Well, I'm about to go back there in a second because I wanted to actually like
One
look
thing
at the
of-
full thing. Let you read that.
One thing before you go on your way, Mr.
Hey,
Naruto.
well, okay, I give me just a couple minutes while I go ahead and
Did
read the
you
thing in
just
here, so.
tell me to wait?
Yeah, shut the fuck up and calm down. Let me read this. Let me focus. You.
Ooh, he just gets
Garbage?
socked in the face. Did you say garbage? What the fuck?
The last will and testament against ASOGI that Mr. Visual claims disappeared as convict execution. Apparently, ASOGI described it as the only weapon I have left. I remember that. I, Genshin ASOGI, hereby request that upon my death, any and all materials, possessions, and wealth belonging to me in London be delivered to my son, Kazuma ASOGI, in the Empire of Japan. It is with deep sadness that I accept my fate in this foreign land and the knowledge that I will never see my homeland or family again, but I regret nothing about my chosen path.
Huh.
It just doesn't make... Why would this be his last weapon? If this is actually it, why would this be his last weapon? Because they're also trying to put down the fact of the papers actually disappearing, which leads me to believe this is a fake. But here's where the plot thickens more, is that this was written in Japanese, which means if someone forged this note, there's only two people left that could have forged it. That would be Mikotoba or, what's the judge's name?
You can do it.
I don't have to cheat to find out.
Seishiro
the judge's name.
Jigoku.
Jigoku. Yes.
God.
Obviously, Jigokan. Gohan.
No.
I didn't even do the joke right. God damn it. Okay. But yeah, because nothing here speaks weapon to me. Here, because upon my death, any of my possessions belonging to me in London be delivered to my son, Kazuma ASOGI. There be... I accept my fate in this foreign land, and not shall never see my homeland or family again, but I regret nothing about my chosen path. I mean, that last part is interesting, but
There
Other
should
than
be
that,
some
nothing.
hidden code, like where there's like different words on different lines on different pages or some
Oh
weird
god,
shit.
that would be too complex for this damn game.
The Da Vinci Code.
But something tells me that
I have not seen that movie or read the book, so
I
I know nothing about it.
don't know. Something
I
screams.
just thought, oh, a code and then writing. The Da Vinci Code.
But yeah, something screams, especially with the description it has there of the papers that claim to have disappeared. That was also supposed to be the only weapon I have left. So, like, nothing in here screams weapon aside from the fact of Kazuma coming over. Perhaps there's some secret code in there that Kazuma could read, and he was like, "My father needs me," because I mean, he came over here with unfinished business.
Yeah.
Anyways, before we leave, he wants to say more to us. Oh, yes?
Those papers are not to do with Gregson's death. Prefer it if you didn't make no mention of them outside this office. Or rather, I wouldn't just prefer it. Consider it an order from the highest levels of our government.
Oh, boy. I understand.
I'll arrest you right now if you don't listen.
Well, I think is there anything I can present? Because, I mean, he didn't necessarily kick us out yet, but, I don't think there's anything we really have here.
You
Nah.
can be the next person in the morgue in the coffin. How about that?
Oh, God. Okay. Let's see. Let's see scenarios. Actually, borrow some books, but can't. Let's see if, is there anyone in, potentially? Is Kazuma in the prosecutor's office now?
Yep.
That's potentially a yes. Here we go. Hey, buddy.
Hi.
Kazuma. Partner.
Hello.
The look he does.
He did it right when I whistled.
I thought it wouldn't be long before you
Oh,
paid me a
this
visit,
music.
Ryunosuke. I was right about what I said, wasn't I? Sorry? That you have all the makings of a great defense lawyer.
Look at that look, man.
Oh, I always believed that you'd fulfill your dream of advocating in the British courts. Just never imagined for 1 second that I would be as a prosecutor.
Aw. Seeing you stand in a foreign courtroom, so gallantly realizing your dream, Kazuma-sama, I'm truly happy for you.
And I'm truly thankful to you, Judicial Assistant Mikotoba.
Aw.
Ryunosuke, I always thought it would be fun for you and I to shake up the British legal system a little together. This isn't quite how I envisaged,
Yeah.
but
Envisaged it.
I suppose it's just another twist of fate. I've learned a lot of things during my time in London.
It's a fancy way of saying imagined.
Yeah. About how Susudo-san's father was himself a visiting student here once, along with Judge Goku. And about what happened with your father. You'll have no difficulty understanding why I had no choice. Why I had to find a way to get to Britain as a visiting student myself. I want to hear it from you, Kazuma. As you wish, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Okay, there we go. Took a while to get to the screen here. Okay.
He couldn't decide if he wanted his arms in front of
Exactly.
him or
He was
behind him.
like, okay, we're good. Did a little dance
It's
first.
like, this suit is so tight. I don't know how Barrick does it.
Yeah. It's getting on for a year now. Since what happened on the SS Bureau? We were heading across the oceans from Japan to Great Britain. I lost my headphones. They're back. There we go. When a bizarre series of coincidences led to those tragic events, I thought I'd lost my best friend forever. I must have been unconscious for a long time. When I awoke, I was lying on a bed. It was a narrow little room. There was a posse of flowers by the pillow. Posy of flowers by the pillow. It took me a little while to realize that I was in the cabin of a ship. I slipped out of the room and headed up onto the deck. Were you already suffering from amnesia at that point? Yes, I didn't know what had happened or where I was. There was just this voice in my head. You have something you have to do, something no one else can know about. Go to Great Britain. Your task awaits you there.
The hell?
It was a calling I couldn't ignore. It compelled me relentlessly.
Jeez.
Out on deck, I saw that I was lying on a huge steamship and we were docked in a large port.
It must have been Hong Kong.
Yes, it must
That's
have been.
for you.
Oh, yes, it must have been. It was only just before they were due to carry your body off the ship.
Yeah.
I had no idea of the situation, but I did have a feeling that this was in some way my last chance. So I concealed myself among the disembarking passengers and went ashore. Then I disappeared into the crowded streets of that foreign port city, so I could plan my onward journey to Great Britain. Okay, how'd that go for you?
Yeah.
Just under a year ago, with all my past memories lost to me, I was left behind in Hong Kong. Everything was foreign to me, the sights, the sounds, the smells. My head reeled. I was truly at a loss. I realized
Culture
now
shock.
that I escaped as a dead man, with nothing but the clothes on my back. No money, of course.
It's culture shock with amnesia. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. Oh, how terrifying for you.
Luckily, though, I had 2 feathers in my cap. One being your knowledge of English, I suppose.
That does help.
That's right. And on the back of that, I was able to pick up some work as a deckhand on a cargo ship. Eventually, after calling countless ports, I finally arrived at Dover. It must have been some 3 months ago now. Your formidable tenacity is of purpose
Tenacity?
tenacity
Your tenacity!
of purpose showing itself again. I mean, the man had lost his memory and had literally nothing to his name, but he still managed to make his way to London on the opposite side of the world. Of course, I had no idea why I'd moved heaven and earth to get here at that point. So how'd you end up becoming Lord Van Zeke's apprentice then? That can only be called an extraordinary stroke of luck, really. You see, I was stopped at the border because I had no papers. They took me straight to Scotland Yard. And by sheer coincidence, Lord Strongheart was there to attend a meeting. That's when the second feather in my cap came to play.
Would that have been your knowledge of the law?
Yes, exactly. Lord Strongheart was curious about an Easterner with intimate knowledge of British law. He took me back with him to the Supreme Court and assigned me to the prosecutor's office. And then 9 days ago, you finally got your memory back after the trial involving Drebber. Yes, I did. Oh boy, how about your daddy?
Yeah.
Ever since I first met you at Yume, you talked about your dream. Mark my words, Ryunosuke. I'll be chosen as a visiting student and make my way to Great Britain someday. Did you know the entire time about what happened to your father here? 16 years ago. It's even longer.
Oh, look at him.
Little baby ASOGI.
He's so cute.
When my father left on that exciting trip to Great Britain, I was just a boy. We took a photograph together the day before his departure. It's my last memory of him. But what I remembered most about my father is his unswerving sense of justice. 6 years after he left, a gentleman called at our family home. He told me that Genshin, my father, had been taken ill in England and passed away.
Huh.
With Professor Mikotoba, your father, Susudo-san.
Oh my.
Ever since then, the professor was very good to me. He even helped to fund my university education at Yume. I'll be forever in his debt. But nevertheless, I just couldn't bring myself to believe what he told me.
Oh.
Then one day a letter arrived at our house from Britain. There was no indication of the sender, so I opened it assuming it was from an old acquaintance of my father. What I read in that letter changed my entire life. What did it say? It said that my father had been a mass murderer, and the writer cursed the ASOGI name.
Oh no.
Oh boy. As a result of that letter, I found out what had been hidden from me all those years.
Ooh.
Interesting. I wonder who would have sent that.
Yeah.
Presumably the letter was sent from a relative of one of the victims.
Oh, there's your answer.
Only presumably.
Yeah.
That doesn't confirm anything.
I know.
If whoever it was had been a member of the judiciary, he could have been present at the closed trial. Letter revealed that my father had been sentenced to death, executed for being a killer. I'm so sorry I had to find out that way. I imagine the British government did its very best to silence whoever sent that letter. But someone who knew the truth and couldn't bear the resentment was always going to be a problem.
But still, it could have been written by anyone. Why would you believe such a thing?
There was a newspaper cutting included with the letter.
Ah, that'll do it.
It was the first I'd ever heard of the professor and his terrible killing spree.
Well, what did my father have to say about the letter?
I couldn't bring myself to show it to him. What? Why not? Because he deliberately concealed the truth from me by telling me my father was taken by a fatal illness.
Yeah.
That couldn't have been easy for him, and he'd done it out of consideration for my feelings. So instead, I showed the letter to Judge Jigoku. To the other visiting student. He faltered for the briefest of moments, but then he just laughed the letter off. But in that moment, I saw it on his face. He was undeniably shocked, shaken momentarily before recovering his poise.
Gasp.
A year later, my bereaved mother succumbed to the strain of grief, and she too passed away. That's when I made up my mind that one day, without fail, I would cross the seas to Britain and seek the truth for myself.
Oh boy.
The truth about my father, Genshin ASOGI. And I wouldn't let anyone stand in my way.
Oh, Kazuma-sama.
Oh boy. About that trolley. Good job, partner. What we learned today in court turned things completely on their head. It was an impressive piece of lawyering, Ryunosuke Naruto. Partner. Where Van Zeeks is in the Reaper, you know. I almost don't want to believe it myself, but it turns out that Inspector Gregson himself, the victim, was. It's clear the inspector was behind the Reaper's activity all along. What? You mean, you knew? The real question is, who's been giving orders to the inspector? Yes, Beric Van Zeeks is the real Reaper. And out of that 10 years ago, it was him who decided my father must be a mass murderer and send him to his grave.
No, he was merely seeing that justice was done as the law dictates. He's not to blame.
Ultimately, it's people who condemn people. The law is just a tool they use to do it.
Ooh.
And when a man condemns another, he must take responsibility for his actions. Of course he must. But I know for certain that my father would never have taken another man's life. Kazuma. On the contrary, my father's life was taken by the Reaper.
Ooh, this isn't going well.
I think we understand why he's doing what he does. Well, hey, it's not quite your office, but
this really is a quest for vengeance for ASOGI.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is for him. What the? It's a scale model of the crime scene. Oh.
Look,
yeah,
an even tinier version of the key.
Yeah, it's great. Does Brushkin often make a model of the scene for every single case? Apparently so. Sometimes it helps to visualize things better and notice things you hadn't spotted before. Actually, the miniature notice board is my work. Be honest, you enjoyed making that. I don't know if there's gonna be anything else that's gonna be important from him.
Do you want to look at the brother of the?
Yeah, let's go for it. Let's see what happens.
The man he does not like.
Do you know who the man in this portrait is? Why would I?
Oh.
What? What's your Lord Van Zeeks' apprentice? Yes, apprentice, not friend.
Oof.
And during the time I was suffering from amnesia, I didn't even notice that picture. Oh, really? I mean, it's not the smallest picture. I bet it's right fucking there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have the first idea who the man decorating
What the man
decorates his office with. Well, I mean, we could just say that's the brother that your father apparently killed. Oh, there's that going for you. Where's Orvezzi's desk? An incredibly stylish desk. It's not my style, though.
Damn.
No, I noticed you've been
That
working with the little table on the floor,
animation.
kneeling down Seiza style.
That animation.
That was a new one from him.
It was.
That was kind of a punishment set up by Lord Van Zieks when I first saw it. I find it the most comfortable way to work. I can't do it. After a couple of minutes of sitting with my legs folded under me, they start to go tingly. Don't exaggerate, Ryunosuke. We both know you can't even manage a minute. Damn. Thanks for the salt, Chief.
It's like, wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Lord Van Zieks' fine collection of hollow chalices and bottles, all neatly lined up. Thank God he's got a lot of them, because he yeets them across the courtroom half the time.
Yeah.
Yes, he's extremely particular about all that. He has a strict regime for everything, from the storage of the casks to the bottling of their contents. She must be having a really tough time of it being his apprentice. Actually, no. Oh? He's so particular about it all, he refuses to let anybody else touch any of it. So it's been quite easy for me, in fact. Talk about weird. What is that? Oh, I know what we should do. Duh. Why am I searching the room? I don't need to search. That's not important.
It was highlighted.
That's just his desk. That's not the important part. The papers.
Yeah,
Obviously.
I was wondering.
Oh, really?
Huh.
Kazuma, what do you make of this? There's only one place where defense lawyers and prosecutors should discuss evidence. The courtroom. So it seems you're still confused by the situation. That's what I make of it. I get the feeling my friend is always going to have the edge over me, isn't he? Okay, never mind. I feel like that could have solved some problems, but I guess we'll just look at his desk then. His little, tiny desk. Alright.
It was by the candle.
Oh
yeah,
no,
it's
the casks on the wall. Casks floor to ceiling, just like the last time we were here. Hollowed barrels, I suppose. They're arranged according to vintage, flavor, and region. Every week, they're all taken out and put back in order. What? Every week?
Every week?
Lord Van Zieks can't seem to settle on the perfect way to arrange them, you see.
Huh.
Vintage, flavor, and region don't neatly coincide. That's the trouble. Gosh, being his apprentice must be a real challenge. Actually, no. Oh? He says the task's too important to entrust to anybody else, so he does it entirely on his own. He's a barrel of laughs here and in court then.
Oh my god. The bats!
The bats. Ah! Ah! You disturbed the bats, did you? Fitting companions of Lord Van Zieks, wouldn't you say? Actually, I've seen things flying in Lord Strongheart's office too. Doves, I think.
Yeah.
Perhaps you have to like birds to attain rank in the judiciary here. Although bats aren't birds, of course.
No.
How about a sparrow for you? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, nothing. Sorry. Just thinking out loud.
It's like, I think sparrows are cute. Just like, I mean, what?
Alright, well, I guess we'll find our next move. We're gonna go next time. Is there anything that says anything over here? Let's see. Okay, not really that. We could try and go back to the crime scene. I don't know if there's much going on there, but
What
not
about
really
the
anything that
sweet?
stands out. That's just the basic one, so
Yeah.
we'll figure out what we're doing next time.
But I know we're not done here.
Nope. Well, actually, I think we are done here because we can't present. He doesn't want to talk about any evidence.
But look at the move thing and look what it says.
What does it say?
Are you sure we've asked everything we
Oh
need to?
God! Oh, we gotta go through all the
you.
freaking evidence. Oh
Told
God!
you.